Welcome back to Boss Economics World, folks. Buckle up, because Trump's at it again, and this time he's swinging secondary tariffs like a sledgehammer at the global economy. Let's break down this hot mess, roast the government's latest economic blunder, and figure out just how deep this rabbit hole of recession bait goes. Spoiler alert, it's a doozy. So, here's the deal. Donald Trump, fresh off his Truth Social soapbox, has unleashed a shiny new toy in his economic warfare toolbox, secondary tariffs. The plan? Slap a 25% tariff on any country gutsy enough to buy oil from Venezuela, a nation already staggering under US sanctions like a boxer in the 12th round. Why? Trump claims Venezuela's shipping tens of thousands of high-level criminals to the US, a line that sounds like it's ripped straight from a Hollywood script. His executive order, confirmed and signed, hands Secretary of State Marco Rubio the reins to start swinging this tariff hammer come April 2, 2025. Targets? Anyone from Spain to India, with a big, fat bullseye on China's black market oil deals. This isn't your grandpa's trade policy. Its tariffs meet secondary sanctions, a Frankenstein's monster of economic pressure cooked up to choke Venezuela's oil trade and flex America's muscle. But as we'll see, this isn't just about Venezuela. It's a reckless joyride that could crash the global economy into a ditch, and guess who's stuck with the bill? You, me, and every working stiff watching gas prices climb faster than a TikTok trend. Let's start with the obvious. Trump loves tariffs like a kid loves candy. He's not shy about it either. Back in September 2024, he trashed financial sanctions, warning they'd kill the dollar and tank its global dominance. Tariffs, though. Oh, they're his golden ticket. He sees them as a 3-for-1 deal, a negotiation stick to beat concessions out of other countries, a cash cow for the treasury, and a way to rebalance trade. It's like he's playing Monopoly with the world economy, and he's the guy hoarding all the hotels on Park Place. Take Colombia, for instance. Earlier this year, Trump threatened them with tariffs, sanctions, and visa restrictions over deported migrants. Colombia folded faster than a lawn chair in a hurricane. To Trump, that's proof his playbook works. Now he's scaling it up, aiming at Venezuela's oil buyers like a cowboy shooting from the hip. Problem is, this ain't a one-horse town, it's a global market, and the ricochet's gonna hit hard. Alright, let's peel back the layers on this economic onion and see what's crying underneath. Venezuela's economy is already a dumpster fire, hyperinflation, shortages, you name it. Cutting off their oil trade is like kicking a guy when he's down. But this isn't just about Caracas. If Venezuelan oil vanishes from the market, global supply takes a hit. What's that mean? Oil prices spike. Gas at the pump jumps. And suddenly, you're paying $5 a gallon to get to work while inflation rears its ugly head. Who gets burned? Countries like Spain and India, who lean on Venezuelan crude through legit deals with Chevron, Repsol, and Reliance Industries. Their energy costs soar, businesses take a hit, and consumers, aka regular folks, get squeezed. Then there's China, the black market kingpin Trump's really gunning for. The executive order name drops China, Hong Kong, and Macau, signaling a 25% tariff smackdown on their US exports if they don't play ball. That's not a trade spat, that's a trade war on steroids, piling onto tensions that already got the US-China relationship looking like a bad reality show. And don't sleep on the ripple effects. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, dropped a bombshell in its October 2024 World Economic Outlook, warning that escalating trade tensions could slash global GDP by 0.5% by 2026. That's $500 billion in lost growth, folks. The World Bank's latest data backs it up. Its 2024 Global Economic Prospects report says a 10% tariff hike could shrink global trade by 1.5%. Translate that to jobs, and you're talking millions of livelihoods on the chopping block. Trump's rolling the dice here, and the House might not win. Now, let's bring it home. Trump's pitching these tariffs as a revenue generator. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says they'll offset the 2017 tax cuts extension. Sounds slick, right? Except the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, crunched the numbers in its December 2024 forecast. A 25% tariff on all imports could shrink US GDP by 0.3% over the next decade. That's $100 billion a year in lost economic juice. Sure, the Treasury might pocket some cash short-term, maybe $20 billion annually, per CBO estimates, but it's chump change when you factor in higher costs for businesses and consumers. Think about it. Tariffs jack up import prices. Companies pass that on to you. Hello, $1,000 iPhones and $50 t-shirts. Inflation ticks up, the Fed hikes rates, and suddenly, that mortgage you've been eyeing jumps another $200 a month. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce warned in November 2024 that broad tariffs could cost American households $2,600 a year. That's not winning, that's a slow bleed for the middle class while Trump struts around like he's solved world hunger. Here's where we turn up the heat on the government. This secondary tariffs stunt isn't just bold, it's bonkers. Francisco Minaldi from Rice University calls it a new concept in economic warfare, and he's scratching his head on enforcement. How do you track black market oil? China's been dodging sanctions like it's an Olympic sport, good luck catching them with a tariff net. This is policymaking by vibes, not data, and it's the kind of half-baked move that's landed us in economic quicksand before. Remember the 2018 to 2019 trade war with China? Trump's tariffs cost U.S. consumers $42 billion, per the Federal Reserve, and shaved 0.2% off GDP. Now he's doubling down, risking a repeat with a global twist. The Biden crew might have overplayed sanctions, but Trump's tariff fetish is next-level chaos. It's like swapping a leaky faucet for a burst pipe and calling it a fix. And when allies like Spain and India start retaliating, say, with their own tariffs on U.S. exports, watch American farmers and manufacturers scream. The U.S. exported $1.7 trillion in goods in 2023, per the Census Bureau. Tick off enough partners, and that number's toast. Zoom out, and it gets scarier. If Trump pulls this off, what's stopping China from slapping tariffs on countries buying U.S. oil? Or the EU from targeting Russia's trade partners? We could be staring down a tariff free-for-all, shredding decades of global trade norms. The World Trade Organization's, WTO, latest report in September 2024 flagged protectionism as a top threat to growth, with trade disputes up 30% since 2020. Trump's lighting a match in a room full of gas cans, and the government's too busy cheering to grab a fire extinguisher. And for what? To pressure Venezuela over immigration? Newsflash, there are smarter plays, diplomacy, targeted sanctions, coalition building. But that's not Trump's style. He'd rather swing a wrecking ball than build a bridge, and this administration's eating it up. The cost? A potential recession that'd make the 2008 crash look like a picnic. The OECD's November 2024 economic outlook pegs global growth at a shaky 2.9% for 2025, tack on Trump's tariff tantrum, and we're flirting with sub-2% territory. That's stagnation city, folks. So, here's the boss economics world verdict: Trump's secondary tariffs are a masterclass in economic insanity. It's a flashy headline grabber that could tank oil markets, spike inflation, and drag us into a recession, all while the government claps like trained seals. For the everyday viewer, this means pricier gas, groceries, and gadgets. For finance pros, it's a volatility bomb, think stock swings, currency chaos, and a dollar wobble if de-dollarization fears kick in. The data's screaming caution. IMF, World Bank, CBO, all waving red flags. Yet Trump's charging ahead, and the administration's too spineless to pump the brakes. This isn't leadership, it's a clown car careening toward a cliff. We've seen this movie before, government mismanagement fueling economic pain, and the sequel's looking grim. Stick around, because we'll keep calling it like we see it. Trump might think he's winning, but when the bill comes due, it's the rest of us picking up the tab. Welcome to the recession roulette, courtesy of your friendly neighborhood tariff tyrant. Peace out, and protect your wallets, this one's gonna hurt.